I mean, like, if your name is Owotigbongbo Adenifuja, let it be Owotigbongbo Adenifuja. Sit down with your spouse or your girlfriend or your wife. This number 3, don't go to number 4. And that's because Denmark actually allows you to go with your family, right? But then you have to do. And in this one, it is easy to say, okay, it's nothing I want to study. No, you need to have at least 3 courses in mind. Okay, true. 3 courses in mind. Do you know why? You will find out soon. So have like at least 3 courses in mind. That's because as I'm making this video, I don't know about tomorrow or next year or next month, if there's any update out there. But as I'm making this video, there is a rule currently in Denmark that if you do not. Hey guys, welcome back again to another video that you guys are expecting or thinking about. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be talking about Denmark, and in talking about Denmark, the particular thing I'm talking about Denmark is step by step. What did I say? Step by step, how to apply to study in Denmark. What did I say? Step by step, how to apply in Denmark. In as much as Denmark is one of those Schengen countries, right? So most of the Schengen countries, they have similar application processes, right? But there's still some countries that like, so that's why I'm picking each of these countries, and I am actually explaining them one after the other. Like I'm basically spoon feeding you. So if you know there's any country in mind that you actually want to visit and you don't do the step-by-step process, or the process is confusing you, you can actually leave it in the comment section. I'll make more research on that and I'll make the video. So guys, let's get started into it. So this particular one is for 2025. I don't know about 2026 or 2027, but that's when I'm making this video. This one is valid. So 2025 step-by-step process, how to study in Denmark as a Nigerian or Africa. When I say Nigerian and Africa, that's to tell you that there are some application processes that actually affect us. That others are doing, others have to do, others do not have to do, and we have to do, or others have to do, and we don't have to do. Let's get right into it. So if you want to apply to study in Denmark, till your visa processing, till you get to Denmark, you have to do 37 steps. Hold up. We'll be like, 37 steps is a lot. If you concise it, college, how many steps? But just like I said, this video is to spoon feed you, for you to take it step by step, so that you understand the one you should do first, and you should be taking it. Okay, I've done this one. Okay, I've done this one, because somebody can compress it, can summarize it. Even okay, you send your application, you send, and then you get your admission letter. You be like, which one comes first? Which one comes? So 37 step. Take your pen, your Bible, your paper, your anything. Take it. The first on my list, and this one is particular order. You guys know in my videos I say particular. This one is particular order. Number 1. Create a professional email address. What did I say? Professional email address. I mean, like, if your name is Owotigbongbo Adenifuja, let it be Owotigbongbo Adenifuja. Don't open accounts with names like Sugar Mrs. at Kinikon, Sugar Kinikon. Create a professional email address. I know majority of you watching me already have a professional email address, but I want you to know. Check yourself. That email address, did you used to subscribe to some nonsense website? What is website that they'll just send you notification at random, like this thing, like that? Like sometimes when you are bored, then it's be like, somebody shall send you an email. All those websites that used to keep people company, do you subscribe to them, or do you use it in any other websites? If yes, create another professional email. But this one is dedicated to you going to Denmark, so that any email that you get, whether you're spam, whether you're gonna say is me going to Denmark, don't mix this email with your bank alert email, with your other emails that you have to apply to other schools in the whole world, or with other, you understand? Let it be separate ones, so that once they send you information, your eyes is gonna catch it. Okay, you get that, right? So that's the first one. Once you've click done that professional email, tick it. The next one on my list, and let that email contain your your government name, and you creating a mail that actually contain your government name, it's easy for them to track your admission, to do your admission visa process. And why I emphasize on this is because you're actually doing online visa processing. Don't worry, let's get to it. Next on my list is there are actually 2 admission cycle in Denmark. Yeah, as at when I'm making this video, or as at when you'll be watching it, the first cycle would have closed. So the first cycle is January/March. January is like for bachelor's or this, depending on the school, but like January/March is the first cycle. Then second cycle is September to October. So as at when you'll be watching this video, you should be preparing for the second cycle. That's step 2. You see that this one is not even supposed to have a step on its own, but I have to put it to create a step on its own so that you go no say this is one thing you should pay attention to now that you've done a ticket. The third one on my list is your relationship status. Check yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, right? Check your documents, legally, illegally, no, only legally. Am I married? Am I single? Do I have a child? If yes, how many child do I have? How many children do I have? Check all of them. Check. Am I going with you? Am I not going with you? Am I going first? Am I coming second? Who is going to be the main dependent? Who is going to be the main? Sit down with your spouse or your girlfriend or your wife. This number 3, don't go to number 4. And that's because Denmark actually allows you to go with your family, right? But then you have to do different application process. That's why I put this one like number 3. Ask yourself. But if you're a single entity like me, that means you don't have anything to worry about. But if you're going with your spouse, the only difference is you do another application for them. And this video that I made, somehow it's to favor single person application. So in my subsequent videos, I'll make it the ones for going with family. So even if you want to go with your family, you can still watch this video, at least because the process for Denmark is now you go first apply before you apply for your family. So this one is still applicable to you. So once you've checked your relationship status, and this relationship status has to reflect from the time you are filling your form for school, any form that you are filling. That's why this one is coming as number 3. Not like in your admission letter you should be single or divorced, and then in your visa you are married. Mark contradict that. So whatever you want to declare it now. If you know that you have one boyfriend or one girlfriend that you want to marry, decide if you people want to marry or not. Don't go and be contradicting yourself. Then the 4th step on my list is determine the course that you want to study. And in this one, it is easy to say, okay, it's nothing I want to study. No, you need to have at least 3 courses in mind. Okay, 3 courses in mind. Do you know why? You will find out soon. So have like at least 3 courses in mind. So just like how Nigeria used to do it when you collect JAMB form, they will have first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice, at least 4. So why do I say you should have at least 4 courses in mind? I will tell you. Number 5. After determining the course that you want, whether nursing, whether medicine, whether masters in public health, whether masters in business admin. Now determine the level of the degree that you want the course to be in. Because level of degree, we can have BSc, we can have vocational, we can have MSc, we can have PhD. So depending, let's say for example, you want to go for nursing, right? I'd be like, I already have a degree. Then we go for the MSc. That's why I said, firstly determine the course. After you now determine the course, you now determine the level of that course. Because you can't determine the level first before the course. You understand that I say you have like 4. So just in case the level that you want is not available in this one, you will. But that's not even the most important one. So that's number 6. Number 5, determine the degree, the level of the degree that you want to study this particular course in. So that's the time you will now go to number 6. Determine the medium of instruction. Do you want to study in English or you want to study in Danish? Because in Denmark, they actually speak Danish. But there are a lot of English-speaking universities there. So once you've now chose it, and I'm sure the majority of you that are watching me, you, of course, you want to study in English. And that's why I say you have like 3 or 4 or 5 lot of course options. Just okay. And that's because Denmark is actually an English-speaking, it's a mixed country, English and Danish. So there are some courses that you might want, it will not be in English. Do you not see why I told you to choose the courses that you want? You should have a lot of courses in mind. So let's say, for example, you want to study a particular course and you check the medium of instruction from BSc to Masters to PhD is in Danese, what do? You port to your second choice. You should, out of the four, you shall see one that is English medium or two in English medium. And another thing again, why I told you to have like 4 options, 4 different types of courses in mind: first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice. You know, I've told you the first reason. I'll tell you another reason again. Let's be going. Number 7, have a budget. Yes, you cannot be going to a country like Denmark. Denmark is expensive. Come on, but then have a budget. This is how much I can go. This is how stretched I can go. Have a budget so that when you are seeing the prices of the tuition fee, it's not gonna shake you. That's why I say you should have 4 courses. That's one of the reasons I told you to have like 4 options in mind. So that when you see the tuition fee for this one, you'll be like, you check the other one. Are you seeing reasons why? Are you seeing reasons you should actually have more than 4 course options? Then the next on my list, but because I say you should have more than 4 course options, does not mean that you can't study any other course. So it does not mean you can't study any other course. So anyways, let's go. Have a budget. That's number 7. Number 8 step that you're going to do is explore universities. And then, like I said, in number 3, ask yourself your relationship status legally. Are you single or married? So when I say explore universities, it has a reason. That's because as I'm making this video, I don't know about tomorrow or next year or next month, if there's any update out there. But as I'm making this video, there is a rule currently in Denmark that if you do not attend a state university, aka public university, or government university, you cannot bring your spouse. You cannot bring your spouse. So if you know you are married, you have children, you have dependents. So you see that all those things that me have mentioned, that's why I say you should cut across. After selecting your course, you should know that the only, if you know you have a spouse, you have dependent, you know that the only school that you want to check, they are public school, right? Or state school. As long as it's belonging to the government, mark taxi private school. And then another most important thing is, if you intend staying back in Denmark, which I presume a whole lot of you wants to do, you have to attend a public or a government or a state university. More private, and it's even a good one because I'm private in that they are the most expensive. So what I'm trying to say invariably is, whether you are going with your family, whether you are single going with your family, or you are single but you like to stay back in Denmark, avoid private university. Even if they are saying we are gonna give you scholarship to study for free, avoid it, because when you graduate, you'll not be able to apply for postgraduate co-officer. Do you get that? Do you understand that? Are we clear? Now I arrange them step by step. And why I say me pick that, and that is why I say me pick like 3 or 4 courses or 5 courses. Because when you reach the private university, you can't find the one, because the thing is normal. It's private school that used to have more of English medium. So when you now get to the public one, you start saying which one has English medium. At least from those 4 of you courses, you see one we get English medium. You see why I say me choose many courses. Let's keep going. So the next on my list is so after you explore universities, and we know we've concluded for this one that exploring your universities, you're going to choose only what? Public, state, or government university. No what? No private university. No what? No private university. So this is step 8, and this video is already 30 minutes. So I'm going to end this part here, and I'll continue in the next video. This is step 8. I don't want to be making extremely long videos. And again, because it's a step video, at least for now, this one is more like introduction to how to enter Denmark. So by the time you tick 1 to 10, you will know you're done with part 1. So part 2, I'll make the video after this one. If you watch it up to here, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next part. And if you feel like there's anything that I missed out, please leave it in the comment section. I cannot wait to read for me. So guys, see you in the next video. Bye for now.